The word motivation is derived from the Latin word movere, to move. In psychology, motivation means the combination of all the various motives currently influencing a person. A motive is a single cause or reason to do something, and clearly there can be several contradictory motives affecting a person at the same time. For example, you may wish to learn about psychology, but you also would like to just watch some entertainment instead. Thus, you have at least two conflicting motives. What you actually end up doing depends on the strength of those motives, and probably some other motives as well. The total sum of all those different factors result in the motivation that causes your actual behavior. If you are still watching this video, it means, among other things, that your desire to learn has overcome your laziness, at least for now. Good for you! Keep watching! This video is part of my series Introduction to Psychology. My name is Jouni Vilkka, and this is my channel, TFF, Teacher from Finland. Don't forget to subscribe and click the thumbs up button. All the different aspects of being human affect our motivation, of course. We are biological beings, and some of our organic motives, such as hunger, the need for sleep, desire for sex, avoidance of pain and discomfort, can strongly influence our behavior. We might not even be consciously aware of all such things influencing us at a given time. You may feel irritated, not realizing you are actually hungry until you've already bought and started eating a candy bar, for example. All biological beings seek to maintain homeostasis, the balanced, optimal state of being, and this means that the need to purge waste or feeling unpleasant in cold temperatures will provide us with very strong motives for acting in certain ways, such as to look for a toilet or shelter from the elements. We will also find certain people attractive, and that will influence how we interact with them. Refusing to admit such influences to our behavior will only make us blind to them. It will not make those influences go away. There are also social motives, such as the need to fit in or affiliation, the need for intimacy, ambition, and need for achievement and recognition. The need for affiliation promotes friendliness and the formation of social groups, while the need for intimacy drives toward deeper bonds with a more limited number of people. Ambition drives us to succeed in difficult tasks and is connected to our need to achieve a higher social standing or recognition and gain the respect of others. Those others don't even have to be actual people we know, but can also be more abstract groups like future generations of scientists. Culture also plays a part in motivation, of course, by providing us with concepts, values, manners, and norms. There are differences between different cultures, for example, in how collectivistic or individualistic their members tend to be. A member of a collectivistic culture might ambitiously further the good of their group, while a member of a more individualistic culture might take opportunities to benefit from the situation personally. Both could seek to achieve a higher standing in their social group, but perhaps with different emphases and methods. Traditionally, psychology has focused on the level of the individual and specifically the mental level of the person. We have many motives arising from this level that we can be more or less aware of, such as our innate curiosity, sense of aesthetics, need to express ourselves artistically, to challenge ourselves intellectually, and to feel in control of our own lives. It is also at this mental level at which we can independently influence our own motivation. We can, at least to some extent, choose how we interpret and experience the events of our lives, and how we see ourselves. We are capable of learning and thus changing who and what we are. If we feel meaningless or insignificant, it will affect our happiness and our motivation. According to Albert Bandura, the expectations we have about the consequences of our attempts to do things are crucial for our motivation. Our past experiences influence our belief in ourselves, and that belief, called self-efficacy, has an effect on our current motivation. If you've repeatedly failed at a certain kind of task, or at least something similar, you may believe that you just can't do things like that, and therefore you will not even really try to do them. On the other hand, if you previously succeeded in something similar to what you are supposed to do now, you may believe in your ability to perform the task, making it more likely that you will put in the effort to do so. This means that not believing in your own abilities can be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Optimism, even if not quite rationally justified, might actually be more beneficial. We can be motivated by external factors, such as getting paid to do something, or because we are threatened with punishment if we fail to do it. Remove the external motive and our motivation will collapse. Even if it is not removed, external motivation is not usually very strong or lasting and could lead to negative feelings or a sense of alienation, perhaps. An external motive is more effective if it is surprising and valuable rather than expected routine. Internal motivation is what you have when you are actually inspired to do the thing yourself, because the thing itself is so interesting, exciting, and important to you personally. You can be driven by your ambition or curiosity, or doing the thing can just feel so rewarding to you that you simply want to do it. An amateur, in the original sense of the word, someone who loves the thing, is strongly motivated to spend their time learning about it. This kind of motivation is likely to last, and being able to pursue a passion like that is one of the things that makes people happy. We are often motivated both by external and internal motives. An external motive can be internalized, and an internal motive can unfortunately turn into an external requirement. Being paid to do what you love might have a bad influence that way. Concrete rewards like money typically weaken internal motives. It is quite possible to not be consciously aware of one's motives. They are closely connected to emotions, and those emotions can be clues about our subconscious motives. Psychologists Edward Deci and Richard Ryan have proposed a self-determination theory of motivation. According to them, humans have certain psychological basic needs that are connected to motivation. These are autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Frank Martela, a Finnish philosopher, has suggested that doing good deeds might be the fourth basic psychological need. Doing good to others increases one's well-being and makes life more meaningful. When these needs are all met, motivation is at its highest. This means that the activity is based on your own interests, instead of being tasks assigned to you by someone else. When you can do them the way you want to do them, when you are competent in the task and feel confident in your ability to perform the task, and when the task allows you to bond with other people. If some of these needs are not fulfilled, motivation to perform the task is reduced. For example, not feeling competent in the task probably means you won't commit to the task, because it would make little sense for you to waste a lot of effort in something you are unlikely to succeed in anyway. Motivation should not be thought of as a binary, something you either have or don't. Instead, it can be thought of as a gradient or scale from a total lack of motivation or amotivation to a very strong motivation that can include something known as a flow state. More about that at another time. In the best case, we can be internally motivated if we are self-determined, as I have just explained, but much of the time we are not in that lucky situation. We are often externally motivated by things like rewards and punishments. If we are being supervised, possibly by guards, our motivation to do what they command us to do is not likely to be very strong and will immediately evaporate if we are left alone, even just for a brief moment. We can also internalize similar motivators, and so we might perform acceptably at work because we don't want our boss to yell at us and we like to get paid so we can eat. But that is still not terribly strong motivation. A person who identifies with their job and finds the praise and recognition they get from doing a good job is likely to have a significantly stronger and more lasting motivation to perform well at work. If the job actually becomes an integrated part of their identity, the motivation again becomes stronger. It is important to note that among the most important factors is whether or to what degree the motivation for the activity is internal or external. The former is stronger and more lasting. Also, having control over how one is to perform the activity increases motivation, as does identification with the relevant values. For example, compare a student who just wants a good grade to one who is actually interested in the subject matter. Only the latter is likely to pursue learning about the subject after the course is finished, and is more likely to retain much more information from the course than their classmate, and is also likely to look for more information about the subject during the course and afterwards as well. It is especially important, particularly for parents and educators, to understand that concrete rewards like money often diminish internal motivation, and so are poor motivators in the long run. More abstract motivators, even just verbal praise, don't seem to have that effect. Rewards are also more effective if they are unexpected, or at least not consistently and expectedly given. The strength of the motivation is connected to the state of arousal or excitation. This is also connected to emotions. If the task to be done is very easy, it does not inspire a lot of motivation, and so the physiological state of arousal caused by the task is likely to be low. The valence of the emotional experience of the situation depends on other things as well, so one can be bored by the task, a negative emotion, or one might find the task relaxing, positive emotion. If instead the task is demanding, it will probably cause a heightened level of arousal. The emotional experience can be one of excitement, positive, or anxious, negative. The former, excitement, is more likely to be the case if one feels competent enough and is not overwhelmed by the task, which would easily make one anxious. Here is a short list of 6 things you can do to amplify your motivation, to help you get things done. 1. Remove obstacles you might use as excuses. For example, prepare for the thing in advance, like pack your gym bag for the next day. 2. Set for yourself reasonable goals. They should be clearly defined with measurable goals and deadlines. In fact, SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. 3. Don't demand too much of yourself and make sure your requirements increase incrementally with small achievable steps. 4. Routines can help. Make a habit out of something and it becomes easier. Doing something every now and then without routine may feel like starting it from the beginning every time, and the very beginning can be the most difficult part. 5. Combine goals with other activities. If you struggle to find the motivation to go to the gym, include grocery shopping on the same trip. That way, both tasks make the other easier. 6. Tracking yourself may be useful. If you want to lose weight, keep track of your morning weight before breakfast every day on a spreadsheet. Have it calculate your trend line. Then your goal will be just to keep the line in a slight decline. You can do similar things with weightlifting results. For studies, I recommend something similar to a loading bar that shows how much of your study point goal you have achieved so far in as concrete a manner as possible. What do you think about on these tips? Any good? Do you have additional tips to share? Please let me know in the comments below. That's all for now. I hope you'll come back next time when I will be discussing emotions and mood. Bye for now. If you wish to support my channel, please click thumbs up, subscribe and share my videos. Any comments on the videos would also be welcome.